Hi everyone, welcome in Sol YouTube channel. First of all, I would like to thanks all the followers and the Patreon. If you're not a Patreon or followers today, please follow us. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's free. You're just gonna receive an email to tell you there is a new video online. What are we gonna see on this video? In this video, we're gonna speak about the safety. So life raft, man overboard, but also all the big issue you can get on the sea, like losing the mast, get the fires, and all those details. You work on it. As you can see, I look a bit tired, but we just did Gibraltar to Lanzarote, and we get a quite really hard night, 4/7, so I'm still doing 12 hours. But you're gonna get the pleasure to see this on the next video. So for the moment, let's enjoy the briefing. Okay, hi guys, so today we're gonna do the briefing about the safety. So how we're gonna do that? We're gonna start by the worst case scenario, which means like we abandon the ship and go in the life raft. Then we're gonna talk about the big issue we can get during any crossing, like losing the mast or things like this, the thunders or that. And then we're gonna go out to do some man overboard practical thing. I'm gonna give a theoretical course about the man overboard, and then we're gonna go to practice. So first, so abandon the ship and go in the life raft. So there is mostly only two scenarios only one scenario when we abandon the ship if the boat is sinking. If the boat is sinking, even if it's float a little bit and stay on the surface, we're not gonna abandon it. We're probably gonna be in the life raft attached to the boat, but we not abandon the boat. Why? Because if the rescue is coming and looking for a boat, it's much more easier to find a floating piece of fiberglass than looking for a small life raft in the middle of the ocean. So we stay on the boat as long as it's not sinking. And I'm the one who give the order to abandon the boat or not. But before going in the life raft, what we have to do is to send a mayday, to say, okay guys, there is a distress, we have to go. First, the first thing is to make the difference between a mayday and a pan. So now you should know what it is. So a mayday is when the life of any one of us is in danger, for all of us. A pan is if we get an issue, which means if we lose the mast but all of us is okay, we don't send a mayday. This is a pan. It's not an emergency distress, like we need someone to come now because someone can die. It's just we have an issue and this is not nice, we have to figure out. So this is a pan. So to send the mayday, the procedure is kind of simple for us. So we have different devices, but first of all we have the VHF. On it there is a button called a distress. So you just press the button and that sends a distress signal, which is pre-registered. There is a name of the boat, there is this MMSI and everything. But on top of it, you have to send a voice mayday on the VHF, and I'll tell you why, because maybe I'm gonna be dead, so you have to do it if I'm not alive. So in this book, you're gonna find on the second page the name of the vessel plus the alphabet, marine alphabet. So the boat is South, and it will be Sierra Oscar Uniform Lima Sierra. And on the bottom over here you have this MMSI, which is 227529030. This number was given by the French radio license, and with this number they know what type of boat, what is the length, what is the brand, how many people there is on board, and all the details. So that's why we give that. So the Mayday, the voice call is kind of simple. I don't know if I get right, but do it like this is the easiest way to do it. You're on the channel 16, 16. Press the button. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. So 3 times. This is sailing vessel Saul, Sierra Oscar Uniform Lima Sierra. Sailing vessel Saul, Sierra Oscar Uniform Lima Sierra. MMSI number 222 blah 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 blah. MMSI number blah 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 blah. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Okay. Someone may respond, someone may not respond, but you did it. So you send the Mayday, you press the distress signal, the job is done. It could be really an emergency way, like you have 1 minute to go out of the boat, so don't spend much more time than this on the radio. I mean, you send the Mayday, you press the distress signal, you did your job. On the spot devices, you press the SOS button, which means they're going to send also a satellite emergency signal, and my father going to receive it and also call the distress to say, hey, my son is in a thing, this is the position, blah 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 blah. And we got the personal man overboard, the yellow things over here, same, you press it, and any ship 30 miles around should receive a signal as there is a man overboard. That doesn't say we're in a Mayday, but they know there is a man overboard, and all commercial ships have to come to pick up you. You're gonna find 4 guys, or 5, big surprise, but at least they're gonna come. So that's the way to do it. When this is done, we're gonna go in the liferaft, and I'm gonna give each of you someone to do. So the 2 guys, your job is to take the liferaft, go out, put the tender on the water, and put the liferaft in the tender. Why we don't jump in the liferaft right away is because 50% of the liferaft inflate and deflate immediately after a couple of hours. The tender is inflate, we know it's floating, is here, we show 100% of that, so it's better to go on the tender which is sure 100% than go on something which maybe going to deflate later. So that's your rules, 2 of you. If for any reason one of them is dead, we know we have to have the other one, and so on. So we have to take the roles of someone else if someone else is not alive anymore. You're responsible of the food, so you grab the bag with the fruit, which is on the cupboard over here with the bread, everything on the bag. Jump on the tender. You're responsible of the water, because you know there is the fresh water on board when you tied it to me. Same, grab a bag, put 6-10 bottles of water, jump on the tender, and I'm responsible of taking those things over here. So look at them well, because if I'm not alive, someone is gonna have to do it. So we have the 2 emergency devices. So we bring them with us, and we have press in each of them. So we send a signal like we are in distress. We get the light, flashing light, which is visible at 10 miles during the night, and this one, the suitcase, is all the flare. So during the night, if there's a ship, we send the flare to be visible. And we got the goggles and an Endel VHF radio. This is sometimes some boat doesn't reply if you don't call the name. So you can, if you see a ship, you can call it. But if you can get the name and call it with the name, there is much more chance you're gonna reply to us. So that's the devices we bring with us on a grab bag. I'm going to be responsible of that, but get it on the mind. They're all going to be in the same spot, but the 2 electronic devices, so sending the signal, be visible from all the boats, and be able to communicate. This is the important things. Okay for you? Good guy. Let's put it and mainly, this is it. Like I said, this is an emergency procedure. We have to be, the role of each of us has to be really clear, but this is not, I will say, a terrible, dangerous procedure or whatever. I mean, we're gonna go on this life raft. Most of the time in the next 10 to 12 hours you pick up by another boat. So this is not comfortable. We're gonna have the water, we're gonna have the sun or the cold or the wave or whatever, but we're not gonna die. So we don't have to think about this with a lot of stress. It's just we do the routine I have to be done and that is planned, and everything gonna be fine. Okay, so don't be too stressed about the evacuation on the boat. This is really, really important one.
Yeah.
Right. So then we're gonna talk about the main problem we can get when we're on the boat on any crossing far away from the shore, and we get an issue. The first one I want to talk about is the fire. Again, so fire is a main issue on the boat. It's 45-50 seconds to get an extinguisher and get it done. If we don't, there is plenty chance the boat gonna sink. So the fire is really, really a major one. That's the one of the two we can give us abandon the boat. Like I told you, you know where are the extinguisher, we know where is the gas bottle. Small, big, whatever, I put the full extinguisher on it. If it needed, I put a second one, but we stop this fire, whatever happened. And we close the gas bottle, as I told you. Fire, mainly there is the worst one, so we have to get it stopped. If we don't, it's the end of the story. This is the only one when we don't have any power on it, and the only one is to stop the fire. Then the second one is to get water coming in the boat. We have a hole somewhere, we eat something, and we have water coming in the boat. Same, or it's too big, and at one point we're gonna have to evacuate the boat, or is not too big, and at one point we're gonna be able to at least reduce the amount of water coming in and fight for that. In this case scenario, we're gonna destroy the inside of the boat if needed. I mean, get the door over here, get the cushion, get whatever clothes, whatever we can put in the hole, a piece of sail against the hull, put screw and everything, but we're gonna try to stop the water coming in. Put the man with a bucket 24 hours a day and get it out. This is really, 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 really important, because if we can do that, we manage it right. If the water start to be too much, at one point we can lose the electricity, which means we have to send distress signal before losing the electricity, because if we don't have any more electricity, we cannot send anything on the VHF. And in this case, it will be a mayday, because we're gonna sink. But as long as we can manage the water in, that's the procedure. We try as much as we can with everything we have to stop the water coming in. Great. Mm-hmm. Thunder and lighting. So if we hit by lighting on the boat, normally we lost all the electricity on board and all the electronic devices, everything gonna die. But under this bench we have a microwave, and a microwave is a Faraday cage, which means everything we're gonna be inside the microwave gonna be safe from the lighting. So the thing is, what we need to be able to arrive when we want to go is at least get a position, the GPS where we are, and know where we want to go. For that, my computer get the chart plus a small GPS device it with. We have the handheld GPS, so we will put my computer on a small GPS, the handheld GPS, maybe the phone we have plus the two distress devices on the microwave on the table, everything in, close the microwave, take out the electricity of the battery, switch off everything, and pray. That's the point. He may not put the fire on board, he may put fire on board, but probably not. We may lose all the electricity on board, but as I say, as long as we get a position, is very good with a paper chart. We got a pen. We got the compass, magnetic compass outside. We're gonna finish the trip. It's gonna be dark. We're not gonna get any more water pump or bleach pump, so we're gonna have to open the tank, get with a tap, a bucket to get fresh water and everything. You become like really adventure sailing, but it's gonna work. We're gonna make it. So this is either not is a bad scenario, but it's nothing really bad. Losing the steering. So if we lose the steering, the rudder, for example, we're gonna be in trouble because we're gonna look like a drunk man, you know. So same, we have the spinnaker pull. Maybe we can cut it, use some line, get some cupboard attached to, make a kind of safety rudders, slow down the boat to avoid any, there is too much pressure on it, but we should manage to arrive. You're going to be long. So again, we don't send a mayday because we lose the rudder. This is not the point. We finished the thing. Did you read the article on the small book, like the guys, he did 1,500 miles under a broken mast, 2.5 nautical miles an hour. I mean, it takes a month, but he finishes trip. The only thing is we have to get enough water and food, but we're going to take that. Same with losing the electricity. We talked about before. We have 3 batteries, so at least one going to be working. I'm an electrician, so we're going to find a way to plug the computer and get enough to know where we are. But even if we lose that, what are we going to lose? The night light, the communication, the autopilot. It doesn't matter. We have the handheld GPS, we know where we are, we have the paper chart, we know where we go. You can give us a heading, or I can give you a heading. We got the compass. We're just gonna steer for a while. Shitty, but doable. So easy. The water, we out of water, like you know. So we have like 3 tanks, 2 in my cabin, 2 separate, one over here, and one here. As long as we're gonna go, I'm gonna tell you, okay, we empty the first one, so we empty 150 liters, which is 35-40 gallon. Then I'm gonna tell you, okay, we empty the second one. At this point, we're gonna know we have only like 150 liters more, like 40 more gallon. So I will ask to everyone to reduce business consumption. If it's like 3 days to the arrival, we're good, but if it's way in advance. And then we get the last 51, which is the reserve one. Before we arrive there, I will tell you, okay, we're gonna stink, but no more shower, cleaning the dishes with the salt water and things like that. Yep. Losing the mast. I didn't do this one, no? Losing the mast. Speak about lose the mast. No. Okay, losing the mast. Losing the mast is a good one. First of all, if you lose the mast, your communication, VHF antenna and everything, radars and everything will be in the water, which means you cannot communicate more with the rest of the world. So you have to think about that. And when the mast fall down, so the worst scenario is falling someone, and maybe this is a mayday because we get someone injured. But if you don't, if you fall properly, I will say, there is 2 scenarios. We can get it back on board, or we cannot get it back on board. If we cannot get it back on board, what's happened most of the time is the mast, which is broken, which is in the water, with the sail on it, and the pressure of the water is doing this like a bungee, is moving a lot, and when it come back, it can make a hole in the hull. You can make a perforation on the hull. And then you get 2 problems. You get a broken mast and a hole in the hull. We don't want that. So if we cannot get it back on board, we just cut the shroud and leave the mast going out. We lost it, but it's better to get a hole in the hull. And then with this, which is some dynamo, this line get the same strength as the shroud we have over here on board, which is a soft one. So we're gonna get a small piece of mast, we're gonna get a spinnaker pull, we get plenty of the sail on the front. We're gonna make distress rigging and mast, something we're gonna work like on the booklet you read the article. You're gonna be slow, you're gonna be maybe comfortable because you're not gonna move much, but we're gonna make it too. So losing the mast is either not a very big problem. What I want to come through all the thing is like the main distress is get a fire or get a water coming in. We cannot solve and the borders start to float and think. But if this 2 case scenario doesn't happen, which should not happen because we're gonna take care of a fire and there is very few chance we eat anything dangerous. In all the other case, we know what we have to do. It could be long to arrive, but we're gonna arrive. So which means we don't take much danger, risk to do this crossing on the boat. The last point, which is the bad weather. And on the bad weather, first we're going to be on the latitude very south, so normally we cannot get any hurricane or thing like that. We get a very good prevision on the weather forecast. But if we get bad weather, same, we can all reduce a lot our sails and go in the escape way, so running water. On this case, we have to keep enough speed to get the control of the boat, because if we get the control of the boat, the sea doesn't have the control of the boat, so we manage to get it on the wave, going up and down, because when the wave come on the back of the boat turn like that, so we control this if we get a bit of speed. Then we go down on the wave and we lose the wind because the mast is very down and the power of the sail. If we get a small sail in the front, you don't have wind on this. So if you get enough speed, you still control the boat with the speed of the boat, and then you go up, you catch the wind again and again and again and again. So get a little bit of speed, give us it's a safety way. And what we can do also is go to what they call in English head to, I think so. So you get a Genoa in one way, the mainsail in the other way, and you put your steering in the opposite, and you stay up to the wind. Really not comfortable, but it works a lot. What I didn't speak about in the French things is they got also what they call sea anchor. Sea anchor is about of piece of tissue you throw in the water with a line, and that make a resistant and that keep you not going away on drifting. I'm totally against the sea anchor, so we don't have it on board. I will not explain why, but we're not going to use this way. My procedures, what we're going to do if we get very bad weather, it's not going to be head to, neither. We're going to keep piece of sail and we're going to go on the escape way, keep control on the boat. Maybe we're going to have to steer, but we're going to head south away from the depression, and normally in the next 24 hours the wind decreases and we can sail again. That's going to be the procedures. Okay for everyone? Mm-hmm. Question? No. Not in English, huh? The question is in English. Alright guys! Clap!
Tu tournes encore là?
Ouais, quand tu l'enlèves, il se met au ralenti de lui-même. Well, I hope this video was great and you enjoy it. If it's the case, please put the thumb up. If you get any comment, please go ahead. Usually I try to respond to all of them. If you're not a follower of Patreon, please subscribe to the YouTube channel or become a Patreon. Help us to support the journey. And I hope to see you again next week. Ciao, bye bye.